And we're live, guys. Like always, we're gonna have to start the podcast with the theme song. I have a feeling it's gonna be difficult for us to do it in like synchronized, just cause
I don't think so.
you don't think so?
I don't
Okay,
think
you know
so.
what?
I think we can do it, go.
Okay, let's try it, guys. All right, here we go. Three, two, one. The theme
Uh,
song.
the theme song.
The theme song.
The theme song.
This is
No,
so
see, it's
bad.
Pedro. Pedro was slow. Pedro was slow.
Okay,
Am I
how
really
how
slow?
about one of
Like
us
in
does
the
it?
head? Okay.
Oh, fuck. This is going to suck. I didn't hear what Israel said. I only heard what Pedro said. It's whoever has the
No.
loudest voice.
Oh shit. Okay, you know what? You know what? Let Pedro handle the theme song for today. How about that, Pedro?
How about you do it?
Oh, well, I'm gonna do it. Okay, I got you. Uh, the theme song. The theme song. Uh, the theme song. The theme song. There we go, guys.
Man, I was spinning. Nice.
Yeah, of course.
Really nice.
Yeah.
I think yeah. Whenever we do them, usually we do the podcast in person, but today we're trying out through what do you call it? Video call thing or whatever. What do you call this?
Video
Future
conference.
technology.
Through technology. We're doing it through technology, basically, and we've already ran into a couple of problems, such as synchronization when we're doing the theme song. But I feel like for the rest of the podcast, it should be going pretty smoothly. At least that's my opinion. But Caesar has a statement
No,
to make.
go, what the fuck? That's not what we said.
Yes,
We agreed that it was going to be towards the end.
no, it's not towards the end. It's towards the beginning now.
It's trans now.
All right,
Well,
now,
like,
guys, I prepared a statement. I don't know about if this is okay, but I prepared a statement.
let's hear it.
All right. Really? I thought you guys were going to push back a little, but okay, fine. I'll just
No,
do the
let's hear
statement
it.
right now.
Let's hear it.
So now, as you can see, that you can't, but arranging stuff in my desk to make it look like it's important.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, when this
The silence
when
is
this,
scary.
you know, when this podcast started a couple 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
felt like you know, I'm just dealing with a couple regular Joes, you know, who are way out over their heads, right? Then,
Yeah.
as you know, the moments passed. As soon as I met them, you know, that fog, you know, as I was wading through the jungle, you know, I couldn't see ahead of me. But then these guys, they kind of just became that light, you know, and I started seeing more clearly. One thing about that fog, you know, is that when you look back, it's not there anymore. The only thing you see is that path.
Oh.
So, yeah, I know, right? So, you guys are like
That's
that path.
actually beautiful.
That's
Yeah,
good.
exactly.
I'm gonna have
Oh,
to
you
animate that now for this one. I will let him
Uh-huh.
animate that. I'm leaving a note of a mental footnote. All right.
I don't know if we should also cut this, but I did steal that. But you know, hey, you know what Mark Twain said? You know, he said the point of creativity
Let's
is
hear
to
it.
hide your sources.
Hide your sources. I like that.
I think that might have been Albert Einstein. I don't know who the fuck said that, but it might have been one of those two.
One of
They
those
both-
one of those guys that are dead now. Yeah.
Yeah, man. You know, like everything's an inspiration. All right, you're interrupting my statement. This is supposed to be the statement.
Okay. Okay. That was. I will admit that was a very nice statement. I think. Or is there more to the statement?
No, can I tell you something?
Yeah. Let's hear it.
I made that whole thing up right now. I didn't mean any of it. I lied to you guys. I'm a piece of
Pedro,
shit. No, I'm just kidding.
kick this guy off. Kick this guy off.
No, wait. It's for the podcast.
We actually kick him down.
No, don't kick him.
No, wait.
I don't know how to.
That was Caesar's statement.
Okay, that
All
was.
right, now that was Caesar's statement. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
It's like when you kick your friend from the Xbox chat just to reinvite them.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
All right.
Well, we're gonna do this every podcast.
Yeah.
And it's up to you guys to find out if I was actually telling the truth or not. But yeah,
it's up to the audience.
Exactly. Well, more like you guys. Your hearts are your hearts in the right place.
Okay, I like that. There's something I did want to mention. The audience doesn't know this, but we took almost a month break from recording anything.
Hell.
Almost a month break. But you know what? I needed that little break to figure out.
I didn't.
I needed it to figure out how to do the video editing. Pedro was a big help for that. You know, he got me the sources. He set it up very, very nice and easy for me, which is very nice. But obviously, the audience doesn't know. They won't experience that delay. It'll go pretty smoothly, I think. But I did want to just
Right.
mention
Just
that.
like a
This
side.
also, yeah. All right. So, Pedro, you've been pretty quiet so far. Did you want to share anything before I get to
Yeah,
my
let's keep it
first?
that way.
Oh yeah. You know, the one thing I didn't help him with was getting a fucking profile picture for Teams. I don't know if you guys can tell, but oh wait, you guys can't, right? We're strictly recording audio. Okay, so
Yeah.
both me and Caesar have pictures, right?
Yeah.
And
I don't know what you're
as
talking
good
about,
as
Pedro,
I
but
am
I
with
see a picture on
computers,
Israel. In Israel, I
yeah,
see a
no,
Chinese
just
man with a
hiding.
Fu Manchu mustache,
Yeah. Chinese man.
Oh, is it?
with his tongue sticking out.
It's like a racist caricature of a Chinese man. Yes.
Yes, sir. Exactly. That's what he put up. He's a pretty racist piece of shit. I mean, he's not a piece of shit. He's just racist.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Chinese John Cena, and it says Bing Ching Ling in the talk bubble.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
the
I
Cheeto
mean, do we
mustache.
want to? By the way, ding attention back to me. Do we want to tell the audience why we took that month off, or do we
Oh
just
yeah.
skip by that?
Yeah. They want to know what we've been doing for that month off.
What? No,
Honestly.
not what we were doing. Why the fuck we took that break?
Oh yeah.
Can
Yeah.
I give
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
reason? Can I tell why I think we took that break?
Yeah. Let's hear it.
It's because you guys took that fucking podcast with that piece of with that other nobody with that long. Well, I listened to that podcast with who was that guy? You guys, that guest star that was. Oh my, that was a waste. Snooze fest. King Kong. Goddamn Empire State Building. Jump off. But
You know
yeah,
what?
I think that's what it was. I think you guys were just traumatized by how boring it was, and I feel like just the sudden contrast between me and him is just like
Yes.
staggering. That you guys were like, "What are we doing? Why are we still doing this podcast? We just never do this ever again." But you know what? I'm back, guys,
You know what?
and I
I
never
like.
want to listen to that ever again.
You know, for the way
He's
I
back
see
in
it.
black.
Yeah, the man in black is the guy who joined the podcast all those weeks ago, and you know what? I think it went pretty well. It was a different tone, a different kind of cringe than what that we're used to experiencing, and but it was a nice and different at the same time. You know, it was shitty in other ways also. You know, let's put it that way.
Honestly, if the fans ask for it, he should come back and we could talk about it.
Yeah,
And there'd be,
exactly.
oh god, a special podcast between me and him. Be like, no, let's go.
That's a good one.
That'd be a Patreon one.
Yeah, that will be a Patreon one. Yes, I agree. Well, you know what? I think
But they
time to
don't.
get started with the first topic of the day. It's gonna be a good one, guys. I promise. I had this one in mind for a very long time. If you can describe your first time having sex with a title of a movie, what would it be?
Oh,
Tell you what, I'll let you guys sit on that while I answer. I think for me it'll be Mission Impossible, only because for many years it has been an impossible task, but at the end of the movie the mission is possible and you succeed and I
Yeah.
succeed. So
Just
it's
say
like
you come, dude.
but yeah, that's for me it's Mission Impossible. I wish I could say more. I mean, there's I had other titles in mind, like The Dark Knight Rises, and
Yeah, all right, dude.
that's a good one.
I had a few more in mind, but those are the two that come to mind. There's so many great titles out there, you know. How about you guys? Do you guys have a movie title in mind for your first describing your first time having sex?
Men in Black.
It only
Nah,
gets worse from here.
Oh, so what was that, Pedro?
It only gets worse from here.
Is that a movie?
is that a real movie?
No, but like if they made a movie about my sex life, that would basically be the name of my sex life movie.
Pedro,
It only
you're not
gets worse
seeing.
from here.
I know it's through video right now, but you're not seeing. I just threw down my hat on the floor. What the fuck? We just said come up with. We just said come up with the movie, but all right. Here's mine. All right.
All right, let's hear it.
I don't have one. I thought I would just come up with one on the spot.
Oh, you know what? I just come up with another
Who's
one.
this man?
I,
No, because
this,
this is a really good question.
yeah. Well, I feel like we need like the titles of the movies in front of us. I just came up with one. Dude, where's my car? I think that's gonna be a good one.
How when you first had sex, dude, my
You
car.
stole your fucking car, dude.
Yeah, dude,
You
where's
stole
my
your car, or you were having sex with the guy and he stole it.
Yeah, right.
Which
Or
I mean, no problem.
what's another one? Let me think.
Yeah, because like it's there, you know. But I guess I'm just tired from work. I'm so sorry. What am
I
I
feel you.
thinking? Nacho Libre. There you go.
Nacho Libre.
That's
That's a fun one.
I'm Nacho, and I'm finally all
Nachos
right.
Libre.
Nacho's Libre. Okay, here's another one. So
Shrek.
we should really cut this. We should really cut this into like shorter segments because this is one of those pause and think moments. Because the question.
No, yeah, you're not lying. I mean, there's so many. Let me just name movies. Finding Nemo. Is that a good one? No.
And if I, almost different. Nemo was a clip, but nah,
Yeah, right.
too stretchy.
I was thinking of
Finding
Shrek.
Dory.
Finding Dory. Yeah. Finding Dory is a
Doesn't
good
make
one.
any sense.
Finding Dory. Okay.
Let me think.
Dark
Up.
Tales.
The movie Up.
Up. NWA. What was that one with the what's it called the Chris Rock? Ice Cube. His son.
Oh yeah, NWA. Yeah. Well, what is that? No, Straight Outta Compton, right? That's a
Is that
good
what
one.
it's called?
Straight Outta Compton. There you go. That describes your sex life. The first time. Straight out of Chicago.
Like,
Let me
damn,
think.
if I had to be honest, like, guys, come up with something with like money. Wait, did Pedro kick out of this fucking group? I don't see him
No,
anymore.
no, he's here.
I'm still here.
Yeah,
still here.
he's just quiet today. He's shy.
I get it. He's
Oh, what about
not
the
fully
Fast and the
erect.
Furious?
Fast and the
That's
Furious. I like that one.
1 through 7, yes.
Fast and
Yeah.
Furious 5.
It just keeps getting worse. The
Oh,
further
no.
we go down in the series.
Oh, GoldenEye. No, I don't know. Not that one. Or Spider-Man. No, Spider-Man's not good. You shoot webs, right? Spider-Man? No. Okay.
Yeah, but there's no webs included in this title. There's uh
Oh, I got
What
another one.
about Doctor No?
you should have given this fucking question, like to think for the week.
Yeah,
I
right.
think, like at work, you're gonna think of
let
it,
like let it marinate in our heads for a while, right? But
hey, let's go back to it. Well,
okay.
how about this next podcast and the podcast after that?
Yes, you're right. I like that. We'll come back with that question. It'll be the same question with a different twist on it, but it'll be like same answers.
We'll come up with something.
Yeah. We'll come up with a better one. All right. This is one that we should have talked about for a while. Oh my god, this guy's showing his ugly ass face. Look at that fucking guy.
I mean, we're only recording the audio, so
Yeah, but I gotta stare at your ugly ass for the whole hour now.
Oh my god! First of all, turn your camera on. Let's turn your camera
No,
on.
I'm not
real
gonna
quick.
show my camera. I'm not showing my dang camera like yo.
I want to see what's going on right now.
Make a
It's not
damn
good,
fool
man.
out of myself.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Look at
oh
this.
god! Yes, sir.
I have the best setup right here. I'm in a dark room. I look yellow as shit for some reason. It really brings out the Asian. You know what? I think that's the AI color, thing. I don't know. I'm gonna turn it off though. Yeah, you guys know what I look like.
What's that on your neck? The fuck was that on his neck? You saw that?
This
It was
right
like
here.
a T.
Jesus.
It's a cross. I have two chains. I have that one right there, and then I have this one that has nothing on it.
You wear a naked man around your chest.
No, it's a naked man that was killed, or he wasn't killed. He was left to die on the cross. I think.
Yeah, he kind of bled out. Kind of killed himself. If you think about it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Don't you know how Jesus could have just ran away?
You know what? I feel like
scared. You got self-conscious because we were making fun of
I think Jesus could have like flown away. Honestly, he could have just like fucking flew away from all his problems.
Bro, he went on Spirit Airlines like everybody else.
That was like 2,000 years ago. I don't know. I feel like
okay. You think they didn't have Spirit Airlines 2,000 years ago? What the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, well,
how dare you call me out on the podcast?
What do you guys think was the closest thing to a modern day airport 2,000 years ago? Like the pigeons or some shit?
Camelback.
Camels is pretty accurate. But I feel like camels would be everything.
Getting
like
eaten by a tiger.
A tiger?
Those are my ancestors, man. Like those merchant trader gypsy motherfuckers with the big noses and the body, with the turbans.
Yeah.
Those.
I think, you know what? Now that I look at that,
price for you.
Now that I'm looking at both of your guys' faces, I think both of you guys would make like pretty realistic actors from that time period. Both of you guys are like kind of dark. He's got a little bit of facial hair going on there. You know.
Pedro Pedro's been in the sun for too long and shit.
Yeah, right. He's like the guy that crosses the desert every day for a living. You know, that's Pedro right there.
That's really racial, bro. Like, hold on, let's show your fucking yellow ass looking like you fucking trade noodles on the Silk Road and shit.
Yeah, it looks like
For
my
the yellow
liver's
one, yeah.
failing, I think.
Yeah, you have jaundice, dude.
No, no.
Pedro's a red guard. Oh,
Yeah.
he looks like he have a staff and a large wooden, pointy thing. And you don't be
We're gonna have
a
you
leader of a
dress up in
convoy.
the communist uniform
The
for
communist.
like Halloween.
Oh no.
Yeah. You're gonna look like that pig from DBZ.
The who?
Oolong, hell yeah.
Yeah,
Oolong.
Oh, Oolong. I love Oolong. He has a pretty
That's
cool
the
ability.
uniform you wear.
All right, so here's another topic, guys, that we've been sitting on for a while. Iran versus Israel versus Trump. I feel like it's a little outdated now, but you know what? It doesn't matter. We can still answer it.
So you versus Trump?
Israel
Like,
versus
who would we-
Iran versus Trump.
Oh,
It's a three-way
Okay.
battle. Three-way battle.
you ran? All right. Yeah. I don't
So-
see you
so-
running. Okay, now it's special.
So,
What?
I mean, from what I understand, Trump is going to win the Peace Prize, right? That's the only like news I've read recently. He's guaranteed to win it, from what I understand. Well, what's your guys' opinion on this so far?
So I read something funny on the internet, right? So the country of Pakistan recently labeled the president of Israel a terrorist, and somebody in the comments wrote, "Isn't that Pakistan's highest state order?"
Is it? I don't know.
Like,
Pakistan.
terrorist, bro. Hey, you see how many fucking car bombs they have over here?
Here's
Oh
the
no,
thing.
that's probably really racial. We might have to cut that out.
No, we'll leave it in.
No, I think you're good. I think we said worse.
Yeah, we said way
Yeah,
worse.
we said
Specifically
worse.
me, I said way worse. So you'll be fine, Pedro.
But you can't stump the Trump, bro. That's what I'm trying to get at, big dog.
Oh, you don't want us to talk about Trump?
Trump always wins.
Trump always wins. That's
Huh?
true.
It's all bot.
Yeah, I feel like I've never seen Trump
Say what?
lose in his life. Even versus Vince McMahon, Trump has come out as the successful, victorious guy. You know, so I've never seen him lose. He beat Vince McMahon at his own
Somebody
game.
put up the video.
Someone pull up the video of Vince McMahon getting his head getting shaved by Donald Trump. No, that's too much work. I'll
Yeah,
put a
we'll do that in
screenshot.
post. That's
I'll just put one screenshot of it. I'm not gonna put the whole video.
Boo this man.
So Pedro, I see you're sipping on something there. Do you want to share with the audience some?
It's Miller High Life. It's the champagne of beers. Because I'm a
Champagne.
fancy bitch.
Okay,
Yeah.
a fancy dish. You know what? When I was a drinker, that was my go-to beer. Cheap, delicious, and will mess you up. That's the recipe for success right there, I think. And that's also how I view my women as well. You know.
Yeah.
Oh right, back
Easy
to
to
the
beat on.
easy to beat on, cheap, delicious, and what was it?
Israel, are you gonna paint that room soon?
Am I gonna paint this room? No.
He did. That's
I
the
could.
awesome part.
I painted this room blue, but I could put like posters or something, a little bit of artwork up here, but I don't want to do that. It's too much work. So Pedro,
Yeah, draw a naked woman.
Pedro, this question was for you, Pedro. I wanted you to air out.
Wait, there was more to the painting question.
This was a Pedro question. I want you to answer the Iran versus Israel versus Trump segment here, Pedro. I needed you to air out your inner.
Okay.
Anger.
Like honestly speaking, right? Like, I think Trump will get a peace deal, but like as soon as he leaves office, either Israel or Iran is going to launch a bomb at each other, and basically that it's going to start a war all over again, right? However, I thought people who thought like World War III was going to start over Iran are the most retarded people I ever heard, right? People have been saying World War III is going to happen since the end of World War II. It's not going to fucking happen, people.
Yeah.
Stop trying to fucking put your hopes on shit.
My bet was gonna be Ukraine, Russia was gonna start it, but I mean it's still there, isn't it? This could still happen, right, Daddy?
It's gonna be something funny. It's gonna be like Zimbabwe tries to take the Congo, and that causes a world war.
It has to be someone with like connection. Why are we talking about politics when we don't know shit about it? Except
I don't
for
know
Pedro.
shit about it either. I'm sorry. So someone gave me this topic. I had to put it in there. But tell you what, let's move away from politics a little bit. But it's still a topic relating to what we're talking about.
Nah.
That's because I got nothing. I don't know. You guys know more about the news, you know?
All right, let's talk about the future of our nation. You could talk political or just technology wise or whatever you guys want to talk about. The future of our nation. What do you guys think is going to happen in, let's say, 10 years from now?
Middle loneliness is at a peak epidemic. So once you
Ooh.
start getting the AI involved, there's going to be less need for women. So you're going to start seeing more of, what would you say, a decline in population.
Oh, like
and a
Japan.
rise. Like, well, here's the thing: the Chinese are going to overthrow us in that way. They can order their people to breed, while our government can't. You see, so kind of it.
I like that. No, but you know what? Trump might do something about that. You know, he'll just say, "Let's put a ban on those sex dolls, AI, sex, whatever," and then he'll be like, "You know what? For every kid you have, I'll give you $10,000." I feel like Trump will do something like that. You know, I feel, but
Right.
then again, Trump won't be in office 10 years from now. But
What are you talking about? No, I was going to say, don't you think he will get a second term?
so this is his second term already. I don't. The only way he'll get another one is if we are in war, from what I understand. If we are like in a serious war, I think he could stay there for like as long as the war lasts. So I don't think Trump is that petty to want to stay in office for that long, but we'll see.
What did you just say? What did you say? Trump is not that petty?
Yeah, I don't think he is. I think he likes being president, but
You
I
don't
feel
get
like
to.
8 years of it is enough for him. That's at least that's what I think. That's what I think he thinks. Then again, I don't know him
Wait,
personally.
is there a two-term limit? You know, Mr. FDR or whatever the fuck his name was.
There is a two-term
Two-term
limit,
limit?
there's only been like once or twice a person has exceeded that. Wasn't it
Yeah,
Roosevelt
FDR.
or
He did
something?
like
Yeah, he did like
Yeah,
four.
FDR, you're right.
Yeah, he
he
did
did
like
three
so
or
many
four.
years. Yeah, he did like 4 terms or something because of war. He was like he was in office for
Oh,
like
Great
12
Great
years straight.
Depression.
Yeah, 12 years straight or something crazy. Yeah, that
I
guy's
think he was
insane.
out of it
Polio.
during his last term.
Polio.
Polio?
Are we pro FDR or anti FDR?
I don't know much about him.
Fuck, I don't know. I don't. I just know that he did 4 terms, so like people must have fucking loved him. So like, hey, he's pretty good in my book. But you know,
Well, well, was
from
he
what I,
was he the guy in the wheelchair?
yes
Yeah.
sir.
So he's the
I
You're
was
not
greatest
just
supposed to
cripple.
trying to
know
talk
that.
to you guys into saying, yeah, bro, I fuck with Hitler or something
He's the
crazy.
greatest cripple of all time, basically. The greatest cripple to ever
Yeah.
exist. Think about
Just
it.
remember, if your son ends up crippled, you just tell him that. You tell him FDR was president. What the fuck are you doing?
That's true. Exactly.
Collecting unemployment.
You think that wheelchair is an excuse for not doing shit for the rest of your life? You know what I'm saying? Just look at that president right there. You know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, go throw a basketball.
Yeah, right. Go throw a ball.
Hey,
Go
get some
kick. Go
play.
go
Fuck.
go kick a soccer ball.
Yeah,
If
go hit a soccer ball with your
Hell no.
with some questions.
All right, but
Hey
yeah,
man, if we're
but
talking about like,
hell no. But speaking of
no, go
AI,
see, we keep cutting each other off. What the fuck?
I'm sorry. It's because there's like a delay, and it's weird. I know there's a delay, but you know what? It's cool. We'll get used to it. But I did
If we're
want to
talking
say,
about FDR, I heard that he.
yeah, okay,
All
but
right. So what I heard.
go ahead, man.
Nah, I'm done. I'm not
You're
gonna
done.
say anything from now on. I'm gonna keep
Fair
my
enough.
fucking mouth shut. So
I'm
here's the
sorry.
thing with FDR. From what I remember, he was like a C tier because they do a ranking,
C
right?
tier.
Abraham is like S tier.
I'll give him a B plus personally. B plus, only
Woodrow
because I don't
Wilson
know
is
that many
like D.
presidents. There you go. How about you, Pedro? What would you rate him?
I only think of things as like wins and losses. So he's a W president.
He's a W president. Okay, I like that.
Joe
But he
Biden,
lost
L
against life. He
president.
died.
Well, what
Oh,
was Joe
shit.
Biden?
That's a good point.
Joe Biden's
Joe
still
Biden's
alive,
the L president.
but he's still alive. He's winning.
Yeah. He's winning in some ways, right?
Is it because he fell? Is it because he stripped too much?
Yeah. But
Joe Biden's gonna die of something funny. He's gonna be like, "Oh, he shit wrong," and then he had a
Yeah,
heart
he already has
attack.
cancer. What are you talking about?
Asshole cancer, no? So it's related.
Is that? I think Joe Biden has cancer. Oh fuck!
Go with him, bro.
I think it's stomach cancer. Let's
I'm not
make
one
it
of
funnier.
them.
I think it's stomach. You know.
Regardless,
It's all the ice cream.
all the ice cream he's been eating. No.
Yeah, that's what gave him stomach cancer.
All right. So back to the question: what the future of our nation, right? I think my brother has been getting into this Chat GPT thing a lot. He found some kind of AI thing that helps him with employment. Funny enough, he like if there's like a data analyst job position, you'll type it in GPT and it'll give you like a little test and a little like synopsis of what the job entails, and it gives you like basically like a little test questionnaire on like what kind of things like you'll run, like kind of problems that you run into at the actual job. And I thought that was kind of weird, but it's also kind of cool. I think right now it's not like a very known thing, but eventually I feel like even like schools, like let's say your senior year in high school, they're gonna be like, the teacher's gonna be like, go to this AI thing and see if this job is for you, kind of thing. And they're gonna use that AI program my brother's using, which I think is kind of weird. But I also saw this
That's the
thing.
only time I would advocate for shooting up your school. By the way,
That's the only time.
yes.
When they make you use AI, that's the only time you want to shoot up the school. Oh no! Sorry guys. The
Pedro, can I pick up on that? And let's. You know what would be funny is if you kill all the children in front of the AI, the AI has to see all of its students die in front of it. All right. Chat.
and then you go to someone's computer and
AI
type in
like, you
this.
did a good job on that one, kid.
No,
Yeah, both of you started talking. I didn't hear shit.
look, like you kill all the students, and then you go up to one of the random computers, and then you type to the AI, this is, look what you made me do, and then you want to see what AI says. I wonder what would be AI's reaction.
AI just calls you the N word repeatedly.
No, sorry, you guys were cutting off for a bit. Did you guys ask something?
I have.
Oh, we were cutting off. No.
N-word rant.
Something's, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Look at this motherfucker just talking, but he's not talking. Do you see that shit? How do I kick him,
That's
bro?
where I'm lying. I am talking. I just am not.
He's talking with his
Right.
lips, not with his voice.
Oh,
This is
that's
so
true.
confusing for
I'm sorry.
people. So
Oh yeah,
people,
they're probably not even watching this.
yeah,
Let's
right.
not. Do we include the?
Yeah, we're
Do
gonna,
we include a video of it?
no, we're
Nah,
not
let's
gonna put
not.
in the video. No, we're not gonna put the video.
It's awkward
Just
silence.
the audio. It's
Cut
okay
that.
though. At least we know now that this comes with challenges such as
Oh fuck.
connections and talk. What the fuck? I was gonna say something, but I forgot. Oh yeah, I
We were talking
remember.
about AI.
Yes, we're talking about AI. There's this one guy that said like there's only gonna be three jobs that that survive in the future after like robots and shit take over, and it was like the coders, the robot repair people, and the people that make the energy for like what do you call them, the power plants or whatever. Which I think that's pretty true. Then again, you kind of need like, I don't know. There's a lot of like niche jobs out there, no, that will survive. Uber drivers? No, actually no, that they won't survive. Hey Pedro, where are you going, Pedro? Where are you showing me a cat?
No, it's never gonna survive. No, bro.
Oh,
No, I'm listening. I'm listening. Here's the thing, is
oh
Drew.
yeah, right.
What do you think the end objective is to all that?
The end objective is
Do we
no
need
one
like
has any more jobs, and we just exist without any purpose. But if you think about it, that was us before civilization, and maybe after civilization. Damn, that's deep, right?
Well, before civilization, our objective was to breed, right?
Breed
Like
and
not
eat.
die. Right, exactly, right. And so, like, if the objective is to have this AI thing take care of us, is do we want like AI mom? You know,
Oh,
is that what it is?
that's
Or
interesting.
like,
I don't. AI
we don't.
baddie sounds pretty good.
No, we can't sexualize it because then it'll ruin it. It has to be something where it's like authoritative,
Yeah,
but also caring.
yeah.
That
So
sounds
then
very sexy.
it'd have to represent something like that. But then they like here's there's a question that like they asked AI, which was like, how would you don't you consider like a lot of things in life because of random acts of kindness that when someone cuts you a break, you felt that in your
Yeah.
life and it's like you just becoming even better, right? They asked AI
Right.
like how would you compute that in your equations, to put in, random acts of kindness. And it said, why would you do that? Why would you do something without anything in return? And AI couldn't compute that. So like there's that interesting, little thing of like it doesn't understand selfishness. It has to have something in return. So with that,
See,
we have to be careful with what we're creating. You know, are we creating like a selfless robot? Which technically it is, because at the end of the day, it's just going to be numbers. But through that, all of this information that we give it, we have to give it enough for it to compute every single possibility in order to be that. What is it? Thing that you said, which was like no more jobs. It'll just take care of us forever. It'll think for us. It'll, holy shit! Did your lights just come on and off real quickly? Holy fuck!
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
I hear it's a thunderstorm. Let me just turn on my lights. Actually,
What?
you guys, is there thunder where you live right now,
I'm sorry, you
Caesar?
scared me.
How about you, Caesar? Is there a thunderstorm where you live right now?
I'm in the basement. I wish there was, man. I fucking love thunderstorms.
Yeah, it's
Holy
it's
shit!
very they're nice to sleep to. I think you hear the
They're nice
wave.
to do anything, dude. If you
Yeah.
ever wake up to a thunderstorm, like I don't know why, but fucking the worst things about thunderstorms is that they happen in the morning, like 5 a.m. or at night, like fucking 12. So why
Yeah.
the fuck? Yeah, kind of annoying. Really, I would love to have a thunderstorm 6 a.m., some coffee, staying
No.
upstairs, or maybe on some video games, maybe you're calling someone, just having a good time, And then you hit that pen, you get the little buzz. Hey,
Yeah.
maybe you guys don't do that. Sorry, you guys don't do drugs. Maybe you drink. But you guys find something out there, that you
I
enjoy in
do
life and you feel
everything actually.
oh, you fucking do it, yeah, and you see the thunderstorm, man, just anything with a thunderstorm, oh,
No,
that's
you're not
it.
lying.
So,
The only thing bad about a thunderstorm is walking through one. But even then, it's a nice little experience at the same time.
yeah, what are
You'll
you,
go in.
5? You're gonna get wet?
Yeah, you're just drenched, but at the same time,
I'll let you stop
it's like
playing, bitch.
refreshing. You know.
I'm sorry. Sorry, you guys don't like getting wet. I mean, it's just water, just fucking.
Exactly. All it is just water, and it's like a nice temperature water too. Sometimes I could hear my dog crying.
Is it, hey man, if it's warm, if it ever, when it rains and it's warm, don't you think that's like a fucking tornado's coming?
Yeah.
Yes, actually.
Yeah, it was like, if the water ain't cold, something's wrong.
You know what's funny? I read in a book, in a kid's book, when I was a young lad, a book about tornadoes, and it said if you look outside the sky and you see a hint of green in the clouds, that means there's a good chance of there being a tornado out there. And I think that was weird because every time there's a big storm, I always like look around to try to see a little hint of green, and I never do. I don't know. Maybe we're in the wrong state for that. But
Yeah, when was the last time you saw a tornado in Illinois? Which I wish wish we have.
I wish we had them too. I
Chicago,
told
sorry.
I would tell Pedro to drive through one if there was one. Would you do it, Pedro?
Yeah, I have full coverage. Of course, I would do it.
There you go. That's the
Storm
answer.
chasers, yeah. I mean, just to see that type of power, demonstrated, I would love to see, I mean, the videos can only go so far, but to actually see it in person, to see like a house being lifted up, it's like, that's just great. An earthquake too. You guys ever been in an earthquake?
No, you know what? Funny enough, so we supposedly we do have a few like earthquakes here and
Yeah,
there.
I cut off again.
But here's the thing. I've never actually felt one. So I'll go to school and people are like, "Did you guys feel that earthquake?" I'm like, "I slept through that fucking shit. I didn't feel anything." But I guess you know
Where
what I'm
did
saying.
you live?
I live in the great state of Illinois, in the great city of
You got it.
Chicago. You know,
Wait,
but
when the fuck was there earthquakes in Chicago?
yeah, they'll be like, oh, there was a 1 point something earthquake. That's what I'd be hearing at school sometimes, and then I'd be like,
Fucking
I-
kids are
I'm
lying, bro. Shut the
I'm
fuck
like,
up,
I don't know
bro.
what the fuck you guys are talking about. I slept through the whole thing like a baby, and I
Oh,
don't know. That's just those are my 2 cents on earthquakes and tornadoes. I hope they never happen here. Volcanoes though,
I'm
that'll fuck you up. The whole country.
no, you kind of want to see a tornado and an earthquake, but no, you never want to see a volcano.
That's true. Volcanoes will fuck up your house, your neighborhood, your city. It'll fuck up the
Your
whole
lungs.
country. Literally, right? The whole country will be fucked because like you can't plant shit for like a long time. There's no sun.
Yeah, that's what's Yellowstone when it blows up.
Oh yeah, I look forward to that.
But you,
That'll be quite the experience for us, I think.
Are we good?
what the fuck was that? Why was there a pause?
No, I don't know. There's like a
Speak.
little. It's a delay, like lag. Sometimes it's hard to say what's happening, but yeah, these are the problems. See, we should
Because
have done
you're
Zoom.
having shitty processing.
If this was Zoom, then we would not be having these problems, Pedro.
Yeah,
If
don't
this
you think
was
it's better after
the
Zoom?
ball would have been dropped 8 times.
Who knows? Maybe Zoom.
Yeah,
Zoom for next time.
We'll try
Zoom
it
for next
next
time.
time,
Well,
actually.
we'll experiment.
Boom.
All right, next question. The greatest question of all so far. No, it's not the great question. It's literally the same question, but the opposite. If you want to move to another country, and what would it be and why? And to move, I mean like live there for like at least minimum 10 years.
That's too long.
What was that?
We live in Chicago. Somebody just got shot outside.
Yeah.
No, he said country, right? Or state?
If you could live in any country, what country
Oh,
would it be
country.
and
Well,
why?
I
Any
mean, what's
country.
better than America?
Yeah, that's the hard part, right? We love America so much. We're very patriotic here. We love Fourth of July. You know.
You're gonna have a bunch of upset Europeans in the fucking comments being like, "Well, fucking, how about the fucking school shooting? Shut the fuck up."
Like
Did you
all I'm
guys see
saying.
those? Did you guys see those posts of like when people start trying to celebrate the 4th of July, and you get like all these like Mexicans being like, "What are you talking about? What's so good about America? You know, fucking rah rah rah." I'm like, okay, fine. And so then you fast forward to September 14th when it's or is it September 16th? Fuck, I can't
Something like
remember.
that.
I'm sorry, Mexico.
Yeah.
When Mexico has its Independence Day and they go outside and they start raffling, you go out in the streets pouring, and you don't think of like, wait, what's so great about Mexico that you have to fucking celebrate? So there's that little double entente as you want to realize as a what's so great about being a fucking Mexican? How about that, huh? Yeah,
Yeah.
you want me to go off right now? I'll go off. Oh, all right. You got 34 fucking assassinations of a fucking president election. I mean, that's nothing, right? Whatever. Who gives a fuck? Journalists, trying to do their job. All right, you're gonna get killed. Don't worry about it.
Cartel.
Who's the president? The Mexican president right now. Apparently, there's supposed to be a celebration because it's a woman. Sorry, it's just I don't know. It's just like it's just one of those things where like what it is, who she is, what it's about, and it's like there's this great quote. If we're gonna go on Mexico lore, this is the last thing I'll say about Mexico, all right? Because I know it's getting bored. Mexico has this disease called a 4-year amnesia. So when the president's done, after they're done saying, we're going to eliminate this, we're going to do that, we're going to do this, that president's done and comes in the next guy and he's going to say the same thing. And they're going to abolish the police and make another one that's going to be just as corrupt. And it's going to be, all over again. So there's no point in saving Mexico. I think the way to save Mexico, controversial opinion, but why don't we just, let America take over,
And
and
like
just
let America invade.
let America become, become North America. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's funny is so my dad's country actually used to be a territory of the United States. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, right? The Philippines, like Puerto Rico, used to be a territory of the United States. They gained their independence during World War II because they requested it. Look at the difference between pictures in the Philippines in like way before World War II and pictures now. I totally think like the Philippines would have been better off if they stayed a part of America.
And I need to see those pictures because I know that what's it called? The Philippines right now is kind of like Mexico, where you got the shacks and the huts
Right.
The shitty house.
and the mud floors.
Hold on. Let me look up a picture real quick.
I mean, I'm just saying, I get it, right? Culture and Mexico's got it, but it's like when people complain about gentrification and they're like, why are you removing that rusty nail on the floor? That has history. It's like, well, I mean, why the fuck do you want that building that's all fucking dilapidated? Why did you? I don't know. It's one of those things where get it. Mexico is needs to. It's infected with corruption from the deepest levels.
Yeah.
Where it's like kind of impossible to remove it all without starting over. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's brother's cousin is connected to it, so like there's no running away from it. Did you just send a picture of your boss? Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to download that picture.
Sending pictures of our. No, he's just sent a picture of a really nice. It looks like New York, and they, when it was starting up, when there's still the Model T was around, but that's the Philippines.
That's the Philippines, Pedro?
Yes, but that's Manila in the 30s.
Oh.
Okay, now I sent the Caesar requested picture.
See it? Where's the fucking? There we go. Yes, sir. I mean, there's pants involved, but it's good enough. Well, check out too late. Anyway. So yeah, that's this terrible thing about Mexico. No, this is my pet peeve of like people who were like complaining about celebrating America. It was like, what's so great about America? I'm like, well, then why the fuck would you go out and celebrate Mexico? I'm like, all right, it's a funny thing, At the end of the day, we all have to stay connected, through it all. You can say it's not your president, but it's just fucking it's still your president. I don't know. It's Trump's America. Like, well, all right. You want to be a sore loser about it? Well, then fucking complain or leave. But other than that, just fucking take it on the chin. Keep going with it. Try not to lose hope on America.
I'm gonna go off of basically what you were saying. Actually, you know what? When I think about people that celebrate Mexico, for example, I know damn well that they're not celebrating the country, the cities. They're not celebrating none of that shit. If anything, like best case scenario, they're celebrating like the people that live there and their families and all that. But I feel like in the United States, it's the exact opposite. We're not celebrating the people at all because for some reason I feel like we all hate each other. But at the same time, I feel like we do celebrate like the buildings, the infrastructure. We celebrate like the politicians. We celebrate the big cities that we have. It's like the opposite. I feel like, or we celebrate like democracy and all that shit. So it's a little opposite, but I think that's the way I see it, at least. It's very flipped here in the United States, but regardless, I still love America. That's what I have to say about that.
It's like
Hey, dude. Other countries got things going for them too. Like my dad's country invented the yo-yo.
Boo.
They also have the greatest pool player is from Manila, isn't he?
Yeah, I heard of that.
I like how you tried. I was saying that to be a dick.
Manny Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, Manny Pacquiao is pretty good. Manny Pacquiao is pretty good. I like Manny Pacquiao.
Some people think he's the greatest of all time. Some people.
Yeah. I still think.
How can you be if you lost?
Mayweather was bullshit.
Sorry, guys.
Mayweather didn't run around the ring.
Yeah, that's true. He was playing Ring Around the Rosie.
Yeah. Every time I tell that to black people, they're always like, no, it was the greatest match of all time, bro. Fucking Mayweather was all around the ring bouncing. I'm like, bro, you're out of fucking touch with reality, bro. That dude was fucking running around the ring half the time.
Oh, no. So.
You talk to a lot of black people? All right, we can go.
Yeah, the blacks.
Should we talk about boxing a little bit? I don't know.
I got nothing.
I got nothing either.
I don't know.
I feel like the only fights I have seen are like the YouTuber ones. That and the Floyd Mayweather fights. Yeah. But regardless, McGregor, that was a retarded fight, but it was okay.
People bet on that he would win.
Yeah, it's because he's like bigger than Floyd, and people are like, oh yeah, he's gonna do something, but never happened.
Round one knockout.
Yeah, right. Yeah, something like that. He got hit pretty hard by Floyd. I ain't gonna lie to you. He was just he had very high hopes for that fight, and it was very unrealistic, to think that
It
way.
sounds like you bet on this fight, Israel. Did you?
Did I? I actually did. Funny enough, I bet with
Oh my
Pedro.
god.
I bet a 24
Bet
pack with
what?
Pedro. I,
Okay, well, still, who'd you bet for?
I bet it on Floyd. He bet it on McGregor. I remember
Okay.
this one.
Oh, Pedro, what are you doing? Pedro. All right.
I
Either
remember it
that or
like
he just put the blame on you, but all
yeah.
right.
Pedro, defend your answer.
Hey, man. Look, I thought they were gonna have a legitimate fight, and then I saw it was
Boxing
boxing. I
match.
was like,
You didn't know until you turned that on the TV. You're like, "Is it a boxing match?"
dude, all right, come here, break. But yeah, no, I thought it was gonna be a legitimate boxing match. I thought it was like.
Hmm.
He cut off while he was laughing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, Pedro. You cut off for
I
like a
was
good
ready to
5 seconds
throw the
straight.
fucking chair. Maybe
You cut off for a good 5 seconds, Pedro. Holy shit! I didn't hear a single thing of what the fuck you said.
N-word, N-word, N-word,
Oh
N-word.
no, this is a very
Okay,
botched
that's
episode. I'm
on.
not gonna lie. All right,
First
so
video session.
well, what are your plans for when you are 60 years and over? So basically, what are your plans for retirement? No, you don't have to work anymore. You don't have to take care of anybody. What are your plans? What would you do? And how would you survive? You first, Caesar. Motherfucker,
Damn, I think
I see you blinking, Caesar.
because I think I'm living it right now. That's the thing.
Yeah, right.
I'm not doing nothing. I just go home and I chill. Because let's think about it. If you're that old,
Yeah.
what's the energy like? What are you gonna be doing?
I feel like I have
Actually,
more.
You take a bunch of gas station penis pills, you'll be all right.
escort every month.
Once
I
a
would
month.
say. Once
Every
a
other
month.
day.
Make it a treat.
No,
Make it a treat, and it has to be like 3 hours.
you got to make it more of a treat. Once every 3 months. You know, that way you have
Oh, you
time
gotta go that long?
you have time to recuperate.
I don't need that much time. Oh, maybe if you're that old, huh? If you're 65. I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe a
Yeah,
month.
you come in like 3 years, dude.
Jeez. Because right now I'm still, let's go right now, but 65, Jesus Christ. What are you about to chew, Pedro? Are you still going to be alive at 65?
Oh no, I'm gonna shoot myself at like 35. This
35.
doesn't work out.
Yeah, at least wait till like 53, Pedro. That's my recommendation.
I'll meet you halfway. I will do 43.
43. You know what? Well, let's see what happens till 43. Let's just hang in there, Pedro. We'll see how the podcast
Yeah,
goes.
if I'm like a janitor at 43, I am definitely killing myself.
Okay, well, you know what? That's a lot of time to let this podcast take off. You know what I'm saying? It's like an investment. Right now it's just the penny stocks, and eventually it'll go up to $1.
We set up like one janitor who watches the podcast and he's like actually
Jerks off in the
43.
bathroom.
Yeah, he's like, fuck it, today is the day.
He's like, damn, I'm
Jumps off
40.
the bridge in downtown.
He's like, damn, I'm actually 44, and I'm still here. He's like, damn.
Dude, imagine janitors that like jerk off into the bucket of the mop water and then they just like keep mopping throughout the whole school, like bitches everywhere.
You know what?
Oh, they're like they get a complaint from their boss. They're like, oh, you didn't clean the washroom good enough yesterday. Oh, I'll show you fucking clean.
Like you didn't clean my office right. Like I'll show you. Like, she's on the rag. Like,
Yeah, you just use the same rag you were jerking off with and clean his desk. Yeah, that's pretty good.
There's a video that I can't get out of my head where they go to this lady who's they asked this mom down the drive-thru. She's like, "Can I get what's a nut rag?" And I was like, "That's good job, man."
No.
That's you should tell your mom to order that through
No.
drive-thru on Starbucks. Like, ask them if they have a nut rag. Yeah. Ask about a nut rag.
Does it mean the same thing in Spanish? How do you say nut rag in Spanish?
Rag. I'm waiting for Israel to answer.
I don't know.
Like nuez is nut.
Let me ask Siri.
You have to ask like some
Siri, how do you say nut rag in Spanish?
There's some lingo there for sure.
Trapo de nuez. It's like a literal
Trapo, yeah.
translation, but I don't think that's the actual
Yeah,
word.
you did a literal. There's got to be like a beaner slang one where it's
Yeah.
like,
Trapo de nuez. That's fucked up. Oh, right. I
what's the
forget.
word for that in Spanish?
What do I
Do you
watch?
watch those in Spanish?
La Rosa de Guadalupe is the only show I watch in Spanish. Or La Familia Peluche.
That's a good one.
Other than that, that's about it. I mean, there's also that one show, Money Heist. I've talked about it before on the podcast. It's a good one. Spanish show. Very good, very good.
I don't think
Oh,
I've ever talked about it ever.
yeah, once. It was my recommended show for the viewers to watch. We all had to list one show that we recommend them watch, and that was my show. But
Really?
anyways,
Was that the one where you did it with that piece of shit? I mean, maybe I wasn't there for that one. Do you remember what I recommended?
what you recommended? One of you recommended that the show with the mob. I forget the name, and then I forgot what else. Who
It
else
was
recommended?
Pedro.
Yeah,
I remember. I said True Detectives. You're right. Yeah.
yeah. There you go. There you go. There you go.
Do
All
you know
right.
what the word is for like when they're gonna? Never mind. Go ahead, Israel.
No. Say it. You're already committed. You gotta say it.
When you watch those, your adult videos, do you ever watch the Spanish ones?
That's a good question, actually.
I don't think I've seen one. Oh, you know what? Yes. Like it's very, very, very
Like,
rare. But yeah,
like they do subtitles and they translate it into English sometimes. But
yeah.
the thing, what's the word for the the money shot when they're gonna be like, I'm gonna, but in Spanish.
I don't know.
What?
You know,
If you don't know, you just saw it.
well, to be honest, I don't last that long in the video, so I don't know.
Oh, you don't get to the end.
No, I always watch like at least like a quarter of it, and then that's it for
Israel is not a gooner.
Well, you wear
me.
that fucking Jesus around your neck. You just fucking like he's meant to make you last long, huh?
It's like when they're about to start the actual sex, that's when I'm already done. They're like the build up conversation. The build up
Do
conversation
you
is like
grab
as
Jesus
far as
while
I
you
know.
do it?
Do I grab
Do you
Jesus
hold
while I
on
do
to
it?
him
Nah, hell, nah, I don't
and
grab
you're
him.
like, ah,
I put him away. So sometimes he's
you
like
put him
this.
away?
I go like, oh shit,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? That's what I do.
Put it like, ah.
I gotta tuck him in real quick. But yeah, I mean, I don't know the actual words, unfortunately. I'm getting a phone call, but
So
hold
I
on.
got you guys. I got your guys' answer. I got your guys' answer in the chat.
No, it's
Oh,
not that. It's
let's hear it. That's funny as hell. That's
it's this. It's
that's
I can't
pretty
say it out loud
accurate.
because I'm at home, but
All right. What would
Say it,
be?
Israel. Say it.
I'm not gonna say it. Okay, you know what? I'll say it.
I'm at home.
No,
I
I'm
can't
not gonna
say
say
it.
it. I'm not gonna say it.
Ah! You're afraid your mom's gonna hear
Uh,
you be like, "Yo,
I,
what
I say enough.
are you guys
I say
doing?"
enough crazy things on this podcast. I don't want to be like the only one that gets canceled of all of us. We gotta like share the. We gotta share
What do you
the.
mean?
You know what I'm
Just
saying? We gotta take. We all
embarrassment.
gotta take a fault. Where I can't just be me saying the crazy shit.
What are you talking about?
Okay, no, you know
I think
what?
we've all taken a fall on our sword.
Yeah,
This
right.
podcast or podcast throughout.
All right. Well, what would be your guys' last meal? You're on death row.
Oh, bro, I just talked about this. I just talked about this with my little brother. Holy shit! Okay, so
Yes, sir.
here's this caveat where you think you know what you're gonna get. The
Okay.
prison don't give a fuck. All right. If you want to ask for something cool like caviar, they're gonna give you catfish caviar. They're gonna give you the cheap shit. They're gonna give you something that the stale, old. So what you need to do is your last meal needs to come with something that's tried and true, something that they cannot mess up. But even if they do mess up, it's something that is just so simple that it's like, hey, we couldn't mess it up because we could just buy it. Butter and bread. I want a piece of bread with like an inch of butter on top of another bread. And just enjoy that. It's my last meal. You can't mess it up. And I can die of a heart attack hopefully soon enough. But you need to understand. If you want to ask for a hamburger, McDonald's, you're gonna get a cold McDonald's. If you want to ask for a peanut butter and jelly, you're gonna get some stale peanut butter and jelly. You're gonna get some old moldy shit. All right. So just think about that before you go on. Go ahead.
Interesting.
I feel proud of myself. Do I feel proud that I ruined
So-
you guys as meals? Yeah, I do.
So I do have a question about your meal. So just a couple of slices of bread and
White
butter,
bread.
white bread, and a lot of butter, basically, right? All right. Do you want like a little torch to melt the butter, or do you just eat it like just like
No,
that? Room temperature.
frozen. It's because it's gonna melt. Yeah,
Room
because it's gonna
temperature.
melt at room temperature anyway.
Okay.
You know, it's gonna be soft. Soft. It has to be soft. But even if it was cold, it'd be pretty fucking dope as hell. I just don't want it. How about that?
Okay. Okay.
And like, you know, they mess that up. Even if it's like, oh, that's delicious. All right,
That's
but
true.
that's some peasant shit.
Okay. What if they gave you the I can't believe it's not butter? What if they gave you that?
See, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. And like, yeah, they can mess it up that way, and it's not butter, but it still kind of tastes a little bit like butter.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
you still feel the guilt by eating all that fucking olive oil, or the fuck it is. What
How
about
about
you,
you, Pedro?
Pedro? What would be your last meal?
Yeah, Pedro. What would be
Steak?
your last meal?
No,
The
Say
prison
that one more
guard?
time.
Would it be the
Chicken
prison
fried
guard's
steak.
dick?
yes. And then after that, I would have a chicken fried steak with a beer.
So
Are you allowed to have beer in your last meal?
yes, you are.
I don't think so.
You're allowed to have wine. I think.
Really?
Actually, I don't know. That's a good question. Okay,
So,
so
I was saying, like, can I get a joint?
yeah, right. So
Yeah.
what was the beginning you said, Pedro? You said chicken fried steak with beer and what else?
And then some mint chocolate chip ice cream.
Mint chocolate chip ice cream,
Fucking dessert. Goddamn.
chicken fried steak, some beer, and mint chocolate chip ice cream. You know what?
Well, now put.
So I think you know what? I can't complain about that, Pedro. Chicken. I've only had chicken fried steak one time, and it was actually pretty good. It came with the mashed potatoes and all that stuff, right? Very good, very good. The beer, Pedro, I don't know. I feel like you should have asked for like a bottle of tequila instead. You just, and then
I mean, yeah, you are gonna die, right?
yeah, right. Like they'll have to like carry you to the chair.
Give me a whole bottle of Jack Daniels.
A whole bottle of Jack Daniels. I like that.
I hate Jack Daniels. Jim Beam. Sorry.
Jim Beam. That's more realistic. I like that. The ice cream was a little weird. You know what? You could put the Jim Beam on the ice cream and just eat everything like that. What do you think about that, Pedro?
Fucking delicious.
Okay. Now imagine all of that while somebody's blowing you.
The warden.
No.
Yes.
You know what?
When your guy is the female warden.
The female warden.
Yeah.
That's nice. So
You're like, actually, that sounds pretty nice. If I was like a millionaire, I would do that.
what would happen to you if you request that from the warden? It's the warden themselves. But I want a blowjob from the warden. I don't even want the food.
I mean, you know what's gonna happen to you, bro. You're gonna get fucking
I feel
killed
like
on the spot.
the warden will personally watch you die, like as like in the corner of the execution room. They'll be like, you know what? Let's see this motherfucker die. I feel like that'll happen
Fuck that.
after they beat your ass for like an hour straight. To be
Just
honest,
for asking that, yeah, pretty much.
yeah. All
But
right.
what your last meal, Israel?
My last meal. Oh, there's an easy one. It'll be a very, very easy one. It'll be it'll have to be macaroni and cheese, the Kraft's kind, Kraft mac and cheese. It'll be the pink strawberry Nesquik as my drink, and probably like 3 tacos, 3 steak tacos. I feel like that's little kid food for everything I just mentioned, but I feel like I'm a child at heart. I would be okay with that last meal.
When you're about to die, you know, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly, right? Three steak tacos, strawberry Nesquik, and what the fuck else did I ask for? Kraft mac and cheese. Kraft mac and cheese. Very, very simple. I like it. But do you guys ever watch those videos on those crazy criminals what they desire for the last meal, what they actually picked. There'd be some funny ones out there. There's like this crazy lady who killed like 10 guys, and all she wanted was just black coffee for her last meal. I was like, that bitch is cold right there. I don't know.
She asked for milk, but she wanted it like she
Just straight.
didn't want her milk.
Exactly. She just said, you know what, just black. Fuck it. Strong. I think
There
there's
was
also
one hilarious.
what was that, Pedro?
No, my bad. There was one hilarious one where somebody just asked for a single olive with the pit still in it.
I remember that one.
What to say? Yeah,
At least get like
it's terrible shit.
a whole jar of it. Why not? But I mean, there's been some crazy ones. There's been like that one guy who ordered like a whole like buffet worth of shit, and you know what they did, or what he did rather? He fucking oh no,
Yeah, but anymore.
shit.
What do you hear you? You stop talking. Just wait.
No, I lost. I
Wait.
just lost connection. Sorry. Something
Yeah, oh yeah,
appeared
30
on,
seconds.
something appeared on my screen, and it said you lost connection. But anyways, what the fuck was I gonna say? All right, there was this one guy who ordered
This
like
is a
20
great
different items.
podcast commercial, everybody.
Yeah, there's this one
Comcast, please sponsor us.
Comcast. No, we're
We've
not.
had nothing but good experiences with your equipment. Thank you so much, Comcast.
I think we have Xfinity actually. Is Xfinity and Comcast the same thing? Comcast Xfinity? Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think it turned into
Yeah, right. Okay, yeah, well, that's what we have. But yeah, there was this one guy who ordered like a whole buffet worth of items. He had like rack of ribs, steak, burgers, fried chicken, lobster, all this crazy shit. And then when all that food arrived, he's all like, "Nah, fuck this, I'm not eating anything." And then they killed him. And then the warden was like, "You know what? We're never doing this again for anyone." So that guy fucked it up for every criminal that has come after him, and he fucked it up for everyone. So I think that's pretty legendary.
What a shit. What a
Yeah.
shitty fucking warden.
You think so?
Because that food, just went to the guards, and they
Yeah,
were
yeah.
having a party, and he was like, "Fuck that! I don't want you guys partying with that food." Like, what the fuck? We're not have to fucking throw it away.
Exactly, right? Or the warden just took it home or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's a hilarious story. Yes.
I hate that story because he wasted the food.
Yeah, right. He wasted at least like eat like one burger out of everything.
What if he licked it all and then they couldn't really eat it and they had to throw it away? What the fuck?
Yeah, like he rubbed all the food on his dick and then put it back on the plate, and he's like, you know what, I'm done.
I just
eating.
wanted to do that.
All right. If you could be reincarnated into any animal, what would it be? And it could be an extinct animal as well. You could go crazy. How about you, Pedro? You go first. I see you have a picture of a badger there. Would you pick a badger?
No, I would not pick a badger. If I could be any animal, right?
Yes.
Reincarnated,
Yes.
I'd probably be a cheetah because they look funny.
A cheetah?
And they also meow like cats.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't have much to add. Like, I don't know if I wish I would pick something cool like a Wolverine, but I'm not really cool like that. I'm pretty like normal, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'll be a fox. Foxes are cool too.
A fox or a cheetah. Those are nice animals, you know. If you pick the cheetah, you'll have super speed. If you are a fox, I think you just look cool. I don't think you'd be very. You wouldn't be a successful predator of any kind, you know. It's just a cool looking animal that people like, you know.
But you don't want to be a successful predator because successful predators get exposed on YouTube.
That is true. Well, the unsuccessful ones get exposed on YouTube, actually.
I mean, you do have a point, you know.
Did Pedro
Imagine you're a predator animal, and then Chris Hansen just walks up to you and he's like, "Why are you here?"
predicted his downfall right now? It was
Yeah, if Chris
is there anything you
Hansen.
want to talk about?
Go ahead, Pedro.
No, go ahead.
No, I was about to say if Chris Hansen ever like approached you for anything, I feel like it's not gonna be a good conversation, like in general. It's like
At that
what
point,
good,
just shoot him all and take
like
him to
what
jail.
good could come out of it, with a conversation with Chris Hansen? I feel like I feel like he's like the people everyone wants to avoid, whether you're guilty or not. You don't want to have a conversation with him. But yeah. How about you, Caesar? What would be your the animal of of your choice if you were to be reincarnated?
I mean, if we're gonna go with the safest answer, it's gonna be a Chihuahua
Chihuahua.
of a famous influencer, because
Okay,
you know that that dog is gonna get taken care of no matter what, and loved,
that's true.
and probably cuddled too. And they're gonna
Yeah, right. With the you know what I'm saying? With the
get clothes,
a little chest action with
bro.
the.
That relax, okay? This isn't gonna be real, okay? But yeah, pretty much that kind of stuff.
No, okay,
Everything taken care of. Your life is
but when
pampered.
how long did Chihuahuas live for? 10 years?
Well,
12? That's
Too
actually
long.
pretty long for a dog. That's actually pretty good.
14, 16 if you're lucky, you know.
Yeah, right. I think that's good. That's good. I think an animal for me would be a bird of some kind, maybe like a hawk or an owl. Just because I think flying would be pretty badass, you know. Also, right now I'm scared of heights, so I feel like if I were reincarnated as a bird, that fear would just disappear, you know. And on top of that, some of them eat meat, right? Some of them eat
A
meat,
lot,
some
yeah.
of them eat worms, from what I understand, snakes, rabbits. So I think that'd be pretty cool. A
I
bird.
like your definition of meat was like worms, and like hopefully you pick up really good bird, because like you don't want to be like a fucking duck, you know, and they
Yeah,
get
right.
the fucking neck
Yeah, yeah.
getting sliced open while they're alive and shit.
Oh no, you're right. I don't want to be like a chicken
Do you
either.
want exactly? You ever heard of like that the biggest flying animal?
The biggest flying animal, was it one of those dinosaurs that got like found? They call it they named it after the sun god of Mexico, I think. Something like that.
Cuauhtémoc?
Something like that. Yeah. Some crazy name like that.
But you see
Quetzal
that
something.
Quetzalcoatl?
Yeah, Quetzalcoatl. They named him after that guy. But I think that's from what I know. They're like the size of a giraffe that could fly or some shit, something crazy. I think that's pretty cool.
That abomination?
Yeah. But yeah, that reminds me, I do gotta watch that Jurassic Park movie that came out. It looks pretty good in my opinion. But then again, I haven't seen the previous one, so it's hard to say.
Like you thinking pterodactyl then, or are you thinking more of like albatross?
A pterodactyl would be cool, actually. Now that I think about it, those those are pretty big. But no, I think I wouldn't want to be the biggest bird that ever existed because you'll be a big target. You could be seen. You know, I want to be like a fast bird. You know, like an owl. They're silent. You know, like they'll just sneak up on you and they kill you.
A peregrine
Yes,
falcon.
yes, those are my answers. A bird of some kind, a cool bird.
The bird is
Page.
the word, as they say.
The bird is the word. Yeah. I got this question. This is a
I've
funny one.
never said Mongol. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Let me ask this question. If you were to become a male stripper, what would be your name? And we can also give each other names. So, what would be your stripper name if you were a male stripper?
Valentino.
Valentino,
Yeah, because of
the hot
Means
sauce.
no.
personal reason. What?
Because of the hot sauce.
No, no, because of well, I'll tell you later off podcast. But the other reason would be because of Adventure Time.
I don't know who that is. Pedro, do you know Adventure Time?
I do
The
know a
show.
little bit. I don't know that character.
Okay,
He was a heart. All right.
I'm gonna have to search that up later for the
He was like
audience.
season one. That's what.
Season one, Valentino. Okay. How about you, Pedro? What would be your stripper name?
I would dress up as a cop and call myself the long arm of the law. And then at the end of the dance, I just take off my pants.
Yeah, that's your job.
Pedro, I before I answer my own question, I'm gonna give you a better name, Pedro. They'll call you the little soldier. How about that?
The
The
one.
No,
little soldier. You like that one, Pedro?
no, I don't. Trash.
Well, because you could just be like,
Wash.
look, I'm not so little now, and then you know.
The toy soldier,
Do I have to dress up as a toy soldier?
or the Mr. Commando. Oh, what do you think about that one? You don't like
Mr.
Mr. Commando?
Commando is kind of yeah.
But yeah, let me just go ahead and answer mine. Mine is cherry or cherries. Name after the fruit. What do you think about that one?
It sounds like
Cherry
a
is
girl
like a
name.
Is it? It is a girl name. It is a girl name. But if they ask me why is your name Cherries, I'd be like, this is named after my ball sack, and they'll be like, oh, that makes sense. I think that's a
Why?
good one.
Because they're small and red.
They're small and red and they're smooth. I don't know.
You should have a tragic backstory. You should be like, oh, that was my dead mother's stripping name.
And then I took over the
Scary.
family. I took over the family business. Oh no, I don't know. Let's try to come up with a better one for Caesar. How about the cappuccino? No,
A
the
frappuccino.
the frappuccino, the fappuccino. No, I don't know. Maybe like a I don't know.
Mexican steel.
The Mexican Steve Buscemi. Yeah, that's a good one.
No Mexican steel.
Mexican Steel. Oh, I thought you said Steve Buscemi. I'm like, yeah, that's a good one. Mexican Steel. Well, how do you say steel in Spanish, Caesar? Steel.
¿Qué tal?
Metal.
Quiero.
Metal de México. Metálico. El metálico. The metallic. But yeah, I think that's a pretty good ones for you guys. Let the audience sit on that one for a while. But but yes, cherries would be mine. I think it's a pretty good one.
The girl's name. Go ahead.
Is it girl name? It's okay. Ah, yes. If you were to create a drink or a food by infusing either marijuana or alcohol into it, what kind of food would it be? You can infuse weed or
Coffee.
alcohol or both.
Weed coffee.
Weed coffee. Ooh.
Coffee. Weed coffee sounds nice.
So like, what would
Wakes
the
you up.
coffee like mellow you out, or would it give you energy? That's the real question.
Exactly. It gives you energy, can mellow you out. But then that's for the weeks too.
Yeah, right. Weed coffee. I mean, you could do like hemp coffee, right? I think that what I think that would sell a lot actually. Like if you go to like a Walgreens or something, or like a liquor store, and people look into that. Caesar, are you sucking dick, Caesar?
No, what? No.
Oh my goodness. See, I wish I was
Oh
recording the
my
screen.
goodness.
I wish I was recording.
Nothing to record, y'all. I'm listening to y'all prepping. It's just something over here.
No, no,
All
no.
right.
I was just distracted by
Pedro's
I don't even know what the fuck
retarded.
I don't know how to explain what I just saw. But anyways, Pedro, if you were to infuse a drink or food with weed or alcohol, what would it be, Pedro?
Okay.
How's he
Uh,
doing that?
I wanna give people like the worst experience, right? I want to make like an edible brownie, but it's not just marijuana. It's mushrooms and fentanyl.
What would the
Wait,
I
what
know
was
what the
that?
mushrooms would do, but what would the fentanyl do to it, Pedro?
Have you ever seen those people like on
Are
the
those like the
street?
people? Are those like the people like in that one city that they're just outside like zombies?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh shit!
I'm
On the
gonna
floor
make
like
like a
that.
new super fucking drug, super fentanyl, weed,
That's
heroin,
fucked up, dude.
cocaine.
Imagine just giving that to someone without telling them what you're giving them. That'll be like you should go to
That
jail for
must be
that.
awful.
You should go to jail for
That
that, right?
happens a lot.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I
You
believe
will
it.
you
yeah.
go to jail for dealing drugs. Period. Israel.
What was that, Pedro? Something about drugs? What happened?
I said, well, you go to jail for dealing drugs. Period.
Oh, that's
Israel.
true. That's true, right? That is true. Whether you sell it, give it to someone, take it, whatever, you just that's true. You're right.
They
Um,
caught Mac Miller.
yeah, right. Like Mac Miller, or there was another famous guy who got caught up. That was a basketball player, lady. Actually, no, she wasn't selling anything. She was just trying to go to
Stealing
Russia
pot?
or something. She went to Russia and she snuck in like a pen or something, and she got in trouble for that. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, and then they traded her off to
Yeah,
with some merchant of death.
yeah, I remember that. And then I think Trump was the
Oh,
one that saved her.
that bitch is dumb as fuck.
Yeah, right. I don't know.
Where is she now?
Americans don't give a shit about other countries' rules, I guess. Yeah, you guys heard of what happened to Vitaly, the prank YouTuber channel?
Right, he's in prison
Oh
now.
yeah.
Yeah, he went to Pedro's home country, and I guess he's gonna be
They
there
put
for
him
like
in a
25
jail
years.
with like rat,
What was that, Pedro?
Hopefully, right?
in a jail with fucking like rats and no
Yeah,
running water.
yeah, dude, that sucks. But so supposedly it was like big news over there too. Like, oh, like they
How many
showed him
people
like
in
in
a
every
cell?
game.
You think?
I don't know. What do you think Trump will get him out?
No, like actually, you know what? That's the funny part because he's also like a citizen of Russia, right?
Yeah,
Both Putin and Trump said they don't want him.
That's pretty cool.
I believe it.
Yeah.
It's because
So
he's like
Yeah, I feel special.
been there for a
he
long
just
time.
he's kind of shitty, you know. Have you been
Yeah, I'm like, why the fuck would you want that back?
have you been like Mr. Beast or something? You know, like oh yeah, but yeah, he's
I feel like Donald Trump would have totally taken like the time to take a picture and be like, "Yo, I just freed the homie, Mr. Beast."
yeah, right. If it was Mr. Beast, yeah, but like Vitaly, really, that guy is a prank YouTube channel that always like pisses people off. I'm like, yeah, that's to be expected.
He assaulted a girl too. So what was that?
I remember that. Yeah, he assaulted a girl.
Yeah,
Like
he
he
tried
tried
to
to
steal
scare
a
her.
motorcycle in the Philippines.
Yeah, he stole a motorcycle. Yeah. Oh no. But yeah, but I guess back to the question, what would I if you infuse into food or drink? I would make I like mac and cheese. Either
Yeah, you said.
weed mac and cheese or alcoholic mac and cheese. One or the other. Does not matter. Well, to be honest, I don't even drink or smoke. I don't even know why I'm answering this question, but fuck it though. Weed mac and cheese would be pretty cool, I think, in my opinion.
Yes, sir.
What do you?
Because you could do it with the buttermilk.
Yeah, yeah, that's
You
true.
infuse that.
You guys want to make some wheat mac and cheese?
Weed craft mac and cheese. They sell it in a box already. All you gotta do is make it. And that's it. You don't gotta put anything in it. Sell it to kids.
That's not bad.
I mean, don't sell it to kids, guys. I'm sorry, podcast people listening.
I say give it to the kids.
They
You
have
gotta do shrooms. How
I'm
about
the
that?
they have to try it eventually in their lives. So why not start them off young so they'll know they don't like it. You know, it'll stick with them.
children heroin. I've always been an advocate for that.
Yeah, right. Heroin for Kids Foundation. We should start that. How about
Yeah, legalize heroin specifically for children.
that? All right. All right. So here's another question for you guys. This is a strange one that you guys will have to think about. All right. Do you guys know how one of the worst things a girl can say to a guy is? Basically, one of the worst things a girl can say to a guy is, "I'm pregnant." What is one of the worst things a guy can say to a girl?
I'm
What do you guys-
I'm
pregnant.
pregnant.
I'm
Yeah,
also pregnant.
exactly.
Your
Yeah,
sister's pregnant. No, I don't know. I don't know.
Wait, what the fuck kind of like nasty fan fiction are you writing, Israel?
Hey, listen, man. Don't question my. Well, when you talk about my stories, that's you're offending like a deeper part of my
exactly.
story.
He needs ideas right now.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I
So
don't
the
know.
worst thing that we
What's the
could
we?
say would be you got to mention their weight. You
Yeah,
gotta be
right.
like,
You've been putting on a few.
Yeah, something like that. But like even like make it more subtle. Like fuck damn, you
You
say
look a
like
little bit different than I remember.
You
yeah,
yeah.
like the god damn, like can't think of anything because I've never been with
Oh no, I got
the
one.
person before.
I got one. Like they're
Yeah.
grabbing, they're fixing themselves up a plate of food. You're like, damn, you're eating again. That'd be kind of
Another
shit.
one.
Like, another plate, damn, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
noticed the
thought we
bed
said
moves
we were
when
gonna
you
cut
lay
it out.
down.
Yeah, right. No, hell no. But that's a good answer. That you might mention their weight. That'll piss them off. I think for sure. Well, what's another one?
What?
Maybe. I feel like that is the main one, honestly.
Yeah, it is.
I think that's the main thing they're kind of pissed about. I feel like a guy doesn't want to hear. Oh my goodness, what are you guys jerking off to over there? Oh my
Nothing. We're listening to you talk. Come on. I think this is getting too late for this. We're just
But yeah,
fucking
I mean,
around now.
but even then, I feel like another bad thing would be like I have like an STD or something. That'd be pretty shitty for a woman to find out at some point, especially if you've been
Like
with them for like a year and they had it for like years. I feel like they don't want to hear that. They're like, oh, it's the end. Oh
I think I
my
already
God,
had no.
Pedro, what are you doing out there in the corner of the screen over there?
What is
Oh my goodness, this is supposed to be a professional podcast, guys. Let's keep it civil.
according to who?
This is supposed to be for this
That's
is
a crazy
supposed to
ass
be a.
headline right there.
Oh no. Look, listen, guys. In the future, an alien is gonna look back into one of these videos, and they're gonna study the human race. And look what we're doing, guys. Look what we're doing. Okay, you know what? What am I saying? They can't even see what we're doing. It's just the only thing the aliens could see or hear is just me complaining. That's okay. You know what?
Hey, yo,
They're gonna listen
let me
to
flip that
my.
question. Instead of like, what's the worst thing a girl could hear? What would be the worst thing to hear from an alien race?
What would be the worst thing to hear from an alien race? We've been watching you for thousands of years. I would hate to. Actually, that's good and bad. They could tell us the history of our race or of the human race. That's the good part. The bad part is they could see how shitty we've been treating each other. So that's the good and bad right there.
Like they say, they'd be like, "You guys are not ready."
You guys are not ready. You guys are not worthy.
Or how about this one? You guys are being too loud. They can hear you.
Damn.
Bang. What does that mean?
Or
What about it looks even worse in person?
no. What happened?
You motherfucker! That's a callback. That's what you call a callback. Piece of shit. That's what. Hey, isn't that Pedro's first porno or whatever? That's what the internet would say. You know Pedro?
So Pedro, I
Yeah.
don't, I don't, I don't think my PC managed to hear that. I need you to repeat it for the audience to hear it, Pedro.
N-word, N-word, N-word. N-word, N-word, N-word.
For some reason, Pedro, your internet is so fucked up. It doesn't like hear anything you're saying.
It's your dog shit internet.
But
It's just coming in fine.
let's say it again for the audience, Pedro.
My shit works just fine. Don't try to pretend like it's my fucking shit fucked up. You running on fucking 2 kilobytes a second, fucking Comcast Xfinity talking about
Oh,
Pedro's fucking cell phone provider is the problem. Nigga, no, it's your fucking shit that's the problem, bro.
Pedro, but say it again for the
That's
audience,
why
Pedro.
you always lag out in those fucking games.
Oh my goodness. We're just gonna not know what Pedro said for his answer, Pedro. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I said it looks. What if they said it looks even worse in person?
Okay,
End off the podcast with the joke, Israel.
let's hear it.
Oh no, you can read it. It's a chat.
Oh, let's hear it. Let me see the chat.
Go ahead, read that out loud for us. Make a joke.
I don't want to. You can say it,
Well,
Pedro.
what's going on?
You read everything out loud.
No, you say it.
Do you guys want me to say it?
You can. You can.
All right, but you understand that after this, the podcast just kind of ends after that, right? No more.
How long has the podcast been going for? I wish that it doesn't say, unfortunately.
Yeah, when you click on your faces, ear pain, there's like a little defense shield with like the thing. It says 1 hour and 26 minutes with 20 seconds, 21 seconds, 22 seconds, 23 seconds, 24
Oh, I
seconds.
see it. Yeah, you're right. You're right. An hour and 20 something. You're right. I'm gonna have
Hour
to.
30.
So well, let's end it on a good note. Let's have the
Like the
one
joke?
last question. One last question, or if you have a joke, feel free to share
I
it.
mean, I wish you could say it, but you know,
Oh.
I'll say it at the end, but just, you know, towards the end. Wait, do you want me to tell you a joke that I wrote?
No.
Sure.
Pedro, say it. Pedro,
Here's
say it
what I
for us.
wrote.
Be the hero, Pedro.
No, I thought he was going to say the joke. Go let him say the joke.
Okay, so, well, this is the one I've been working on. Like, it must suck being the Rock stunt double, because if you die, everyone's gonna believe that you're the one that didn't die. I mean, everyone's gonna believe that you're the one that died.
Damn.
All right, I messed it up. All right. You think fuck, what the hell did I just write? Do you ever feel like you're not good looking enough to make women feel comfortable?
Unfortunately. Yes.
No, that's a joke. That was just a joke, and I'm supposed to fucking answer it. Oh my god.
Oh, I thought we were gonna get personal for a second.
Yeah, I thought we were talking about ourselves.
That was just a joke, piece of shit. Okay, so there's some truth to it. It wasn't funny then. Okay.
Tell you what, I'm gonna ask this last question. It's a shitty question, but it's also a good question at the same time. If you could change your hairstyle to anything else, what would it be?
A penis.
A
Can you
penis
repeat that?
hairstyle? Like it'll just be like one big penis looking thing?
Yeah. I have like dreads, but like they'll conveniently be in the shape of a penis.
Okay.
Wait,
So
can you
that
repeat your
way,
question?
So if you could have any hairstyle that maybe like a hairstyle you've never tried before and you're not willing to try it because it's too much, what would be that hairstyle that you would like to try? And
Oh,
Pedro
Ace
said a
Ventura. I mean,
damn.
I keep saying the dumbass fucking name, and I'm just alone in my room saying Ace Ventura, Ace Ventura,
Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura. Do you hear me? Hello.
No, I can. But I
Hello.
think Ace Ventura hair would be good. Actually, you kind of have it already, Caesar. Actually, you just need to
Shut
like
the fuck up. No, I don't.
instead of it going like downwards, it just needs to go like more up. I think more like.
I
I
can't
don't
make
know.
it go up. It's fiction. It's not real. You can't.
Ace
Your
Ventura
hair
hair is
doesn't do
good.
that.
Yeah, you
It's
guys ever
like
seen
Frankie from One Piece.
what was that character? You guys ever seen Shaman King? There's this
That rings a
character.
bell. Where's that from?
There's this character named Rio, and he has like you know that greaser hairstyle where they like have their hair sticking out kind of like forward. I would like to have
Yeah.
that hairstyle. It's like for some reason his hair is like 4 feet long, like going out in one direction, and that would be pretty cool in my
Yeah.
opinion. Who did someone invite someone? What is this? Oh no, we're good.
What is this?
Pedro's raising his
have a
hand.
You
question.
good, Israel?
Pedro has a question. He's raising his hand. Yes, Pedro. What's your
What is
question?
Shaman King?
What? I'm sorry. What was that? What was what?
What is the Shaman King?
Who is the Shaman King?
What
Or
is the Shaman King?
So, well, in the show, there a lot of people are shamans. They speak to spirits. They're very spiritual people. They like nature. The Shaman King is the protector of all the shamans and the world in general. That's what the Shaman King is. And yes, that's a very cool show. I would recommend. Do not watch the Netflix adaptation of it or the Netflix remake. Watch the original on I forget the thing called. I think it's like not for kids Fox something. I forget. They used to be out with the Ninja Turtles and
Or
all
the
that.
children or something.
Yeah, but I think that's a good place to end this podcast. I would say we had many issues with this program, but you know what? One day we'll get better. Maybe one day I'll even record the screen with our pictures on there. Maybe not our faces, but with the pictures would be nice. But it is time to go, guys. Do you guys have any goodbyes to say to the world, to the audience?
Yeah, first off, I just wanted to thank you guys for your time. Uh, I hope I did as good in this interview as I thought I did. Uh, please don't ghost me please don't ghost me on my application. I really need a job. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna send this to all your
I hope you
employees,
guys.
Pedro. Don't worry.
I hope everybody ignores Pedro's application. And I just want to apologize for the last podcast you guys had to listen to. I know that I let you guys down by having them bring in a guest, and hopefully it never happens again. You guys don't have to be bored. Fuck that. All right. Fuck. So yeah.